Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the summary for the day of 82 or 16th of May. And I would like to tell you that some of the YouTube shadow banning soldiers have surrendered. They are now reportedly waiting for you to meet them at the like button and bring them under custody, treat them well. They are we have to follow all the guidelines on how to deal with the prisoner of war. However, this is Ukraine, not a war, so the prisoner not a war, prisoner of not a war, so not POW but PONAW, so pronoun. Yeah, so they are pronouns, so take care of them. Hello everyone. So hopefully you have given them a bus to get on and transported them to as far as away as possible from Kiev. So I have been thinking whether I should even do this summary, because I have did so many of the short videos, but I feel that I should still carry on to do. If not, there's too many events to cover. I think later day 83 would literally just kill me. So let's start off with this, which I did not cover on the quick updates. There's mortar shelling. So there's some shelling reported at Bilokopytove in Sumy. So this is Sumy region. This area is Sumy region in the north, and the Ukrainian defense ministry reported in their early morning operational information that at Bilokopytove, which I find it very irritating, because why do you use the Russian name when you have a good Ukrainian name to use? Okay, sorry, maybe it's my fault, so never mind, I don't care. Anyway, and then they say that the Russians carry out mortar shelling on their state border guard service, and yeah, so they got shelled, and I wonder why. So could this be a warning shot to the Ukrainian forces that the Russian forces are here and they can actually just bash through and go for another massive rush towards Kiev just for the fun of it? No, this could happen. I mean, I know the pro-Ukrainians are saying that it's not possible. But what if they can? And can the Ukrainians still hold up against the Russian forces this time around? Because for the first 2 weeks of war, or even the first month of war, the Ukrainian military is still at more or less 100%, or then maybe 80% after they got destroyed for the first month. But now it's a totally different picture after 3 months of battle. Most of the experienced forces, most of the air force is gone. Another push through Sumy, Chernihiv, and to Kiev might be disastrous for the Ukrainian forces, because most of the most important forces, all the heavy equipment that is sent from the west, is now pushing all towards the Eastern Front. And remember, don't forget that the military objective of this special military operation by the Russian is not to conquer Ukraine. Their military operation is to demilitarize Ukraine. So whatever it takes to encircle all the military equipments and all the forces and once and for all destroy them is always a very attractive proposition for the Russian forces. So anyway, this is usually I would not report on this kind of shelling, but this is unusual. This might be a warning for the Ukrainians not to move so many troops to the east, and they want to continue to hold up forces in the northern area here. And I believe the Ukrainians also read it that way. So If so, anyway, moving all the way south to Odessa front, and here comes another one. The Ukrainian Su-24 was shot down over Snake Island or Zemeny Island, or the village of Bil that does not exist. And this is probably no, this is by the Russian Defense Ministry. So they continue to assert that the Ukrainians are sending things to get shot down around Snake Island. So they are sampling down this time, and I'm sure the pro-Ukrainians are saying the MOD Russia is lying. So yeah, they're lying. Nothing happened here. Nothing to see. So moving on to Mykolaiv Front, there is no changes to the front. In fact, nothing much has happened other than some bombardment. There is no offense from the Ukrainian side. There's no attack from the Russian side. Similarly on the Kryvyi Rih Front, correct. So on the Zaporizhzhia Line, there is continual fighting. There is no much changes around this area, where the first three cities are first three towns are Kamyamske, Orikhiv, or Uyaipo. However, at the Velika Novosilka, the final stop of the Zaporizhzhia Line, the Russians have a breakthrough of sort. Another one. It's actually a dated information by Ukraine _map that Blahodatne has been captured by the Russian forces. So this leaves Velika Novosilka itself as the only settlement along this entire chain of settlements and towns and villages to be captured by the Russians before they can move on out of this entrenchment. However, despite this seems like a heavy entrenchment area here, I would believe that the Ukrainians have already set up a second line and the third line and the fourth line of defenses, given the amount of time they have to actually reinforce themselves. So this could mean that because it's like 2 months or 3 months worth of entrenchment. So so let's not hope too much for those pro-Russian crowd. You might get disappointed. So moving on to the Donetsk Front, which I will talk about it later, because Mariupol is also in Donetsk, but Mariupol is its own thing, right? So at the home of Super Mario, there is a major development, which is electricity is back in Mariupol. So the citizens are very happy. I see a old lady in a video, claiming that she's very happy. Actually, I don't understand what she say, but I can imagine she said that she's very happy. And the water supply is still not back yet, but they at least they got electricity. So things is looking good for Mariupol. And on the less important news, the ceasefire has declared between Ukraine and Russia. So so they see there's this line of icon. This is actually this comes first, then this, then this, and this, and this. So this is at least based on what I see. So there is a ceasefire that was declared, and that they wanted to evacuate the wounded. So somehow not just the wounded came out, the non-wounded also came out. So 10 Ukrainian soldiers actually came out with white flags from the Azovstal, and then things just get out of hand. 51 wounded came out, and then 300 in total. Another 250 over Ukrainian soldiers came out, and only among the 300, only this 51 is actually the wounded ones. This 300 is actually about, and then we'll actually get an actual number from the Ukrainian themselves, that they say that 264 soldiers surrendered. And I believe this 264 is actually not wounded, because according to RT, the news media that was banned all around the world, including Singapore actually, which the Singapore government and the media in Singapore did not report at all. I only have to realize myself when I try to switch it on. So anyway, so they mentioned 300 over. So when the Ukrainians officially recognized 264 soldiers surrendered, means that they did not count in the injured ones, the 51. So in total, that's probably 315 soldiers. I hope my maths is correct. So which is kind of curious if you see that the original agreement was reached on the removal of the wounded. Somehow everyone decided to come out all together, and I believe there's nothing the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense can do about it. And I believe probably the soldiers just had enough, perhaps, and then maybe don't comment so fast. I know you are already typing on the comments. Maybe the Ukrainians Ministry of Defense decided to just concede and make some epic statements about the end of combat mission. So according to the General Staff of Ukrainian Armed Forces, in a statement, they say the Mariupol garrison has fulfilled its combat mission. So then they ordered the commanders of the units to save the life of the personnel, and he declared the defenders of Mariupol as heroes. So they say that the effort to rescue defenders that continue to remain within Azovstal will continue, despite the fact that there is actually no Ukrainian soldiers around here. So I mean, outside they can actually do this rescuing. The rescuing is actually all done by Donetsk People's Republic militias and Russian forces. So it's kind of hypocritical, when the work continues to bring the boys home, or maybe this work is talking about prisoner exchange. Anyway, they say that Ukraine need Ukrainian heroes, and this is his principle, and he thinks that every reasonable person will understand this word. I guess we are all very unreasonable. So anyway, then we have finally the full statement that I finally see, because I didn't really see all these statements. I don't know where they get this. So finally I saw this statement from the main intelligence directorate of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine. So they say that the MOD of Ukraine, Armed Forces of Ukraine, State Border Guard Services, National Guard, SBU, National Police, no idea why National Police is in this. And then there's a very interesting that the Azov Regiment is actually separately named, despite they're supposed to be part of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. So this is a very odd statement, if you ask me, that they are actually a separate unit that is not part of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. You might think that this is not important, but remember, every statement is crafted. There is a reason why they are separately named, and I believe that this is how they see them. So anyway, they say that they carry out an operation. The operation is probably just calling the Russians to rescue the defenders. So this is a surrender operation, and then the surrender operations succeeded. So 53 seriously wounded soldiers, so the number went up from 51 to 53, and also 211 was delivered to Olenivka for a very quick prisoner exchange. So which is probably why they don't say it as a surrender. And then they say that for the defenders that are remaining in the Azovstal, the effort of their state is now carrying necessary rescue measures which they can't do, and all the tasks assigned by the command is completed by the defenders of Mariupol in full. So the task given to them is up to your imagination. So unfortunately, they admitted that they cannot deblock Azovstal militarily. So how could this be still glory? I have no idea. So I have considered, so if you have watched a quick update, I am not so convinced that the location is here. So now I'm actually very convinced, because they send the prisoners here so that they can do a prisoner exchange quickly with the Ukrainian forces that is actually around this region. So this also corroborates that this region still continues to be Ukrainian control. And so there is some photos of the Ukrainian soldiers on buses, which I'm not going to show again. You can actually go and watch the quick update, and I will show you the video. This is the I'm not going to show it. Let's not play the audio. So let's not play the audio. So you can see the the Russian soldiers are actually checking the bodies of the Ukrainian defenders that have surrendered. making sure that they are unarmed, because that is the condition for the surrender. And the wounded are being carried away, I think, probably by their own people, by the fellow Ukrainian soldiers. And there's quite a number of them. In some of the photos that came out on the social media, it's quite sad. You know, some of them lost a hand, the arm, some lost legs. So not sure if so worth it for them. And but something to comment the Ukrainian soldiers is that they are very professional. They continue to be wearing mostly the military fatigue, and that's very professional, because I will probably just wear singlet and short pants. Moving on to the Donetsk Front. So at the Donetsk Front, there's a Su-25 getting shot down at Yehenivka. So this is a ground support aircraft, so in case you do not know. So fighting continues to rage around here, as there is reported fighting at near Vuleda, as the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine say that the Russian forces had tried to attack towards Vuleda, but the attack had not worked out, and maybe the Su-25 has done its part. There is also fighting at Novomykhailivka, but this one is a data information, but it's still true. The information is still true. The defenses here continues to hold very well, and the last time we know is that the defenders are actually the 54th Separate Mechanized Brigade, but I can 100% assure you that the unit now is not this unit. So which is why I do not cover this unit, the units that are fighting, because it's always inaccurate. So if you have watched the quick update, you probably will have a more detailed information about this. So at Avdiivka, according to a YouTube video, you can actually check the link, which is at the at a quick update by CCTV Plus. So DPR forces on the ground has claimed that they have done a preliminary encirclement of the city of Avdiivka, and they are planning to tighten this encirclement as they go along. But I personally do not think that the encirclement is a complete one. They probably just encircle them up to the road here, which is unlikely to be encircleable without taking some of the other villages around. And they are apparently also not yet taken Kayamka at the northeast of Avdiivka, as according to the operational information from the Ukraine Defense Ministry, that the Russian forces, or the Donetsk People's Republic forces, is fighting in the direction of Kayamka, but did not break through. So as such, it's unlikely that the Russians or the Donetsk People's Republic forces have taken all these small towns. They are trying to encircle. Probably this is the shape of the encirclement. But things are looking rather bad for the Ukrainian forces, to be honest. There is some rumors that Novosibirsk Druha has been captured. I will check again this information, and I'll probably update in the next summary, because I forgot to check this location. So to be sorry. And the male organ is totally gone. Now it looks like a wolf with a ear, or it looks like a number 3 with a horn. So the horny number 3 has captured Oleksandropil, which was named Rozovska in this update by Intel Slava at a Telegram channel, which is in English, so it's very convenient to read their updates. So this actually corroborates previous intel that I received, probably also by the operational information of the Ukrainians, that the Russians are actually fighting towards in the direction of Sukhabalka. So at this point, I want to highlight to those people that say that I'm pro-Russian. As you have probably seen, half of my information is actually in this update is actually all from the Defense Ministry of Ukraine. So deal with it, man. Anyway, then this is corroborated, so we're probably gonna see Russian forces or Donetsk People's Republic forces reaching Sukhabalka tomorrow. At New York, the Russian forces have broke through the eastern defenses, which is probably all this line of entrenchment, and also they also seems to have broken through the entrenchment at the south. And according to the CCTV Plus report, which is the same one as I mentioned just now, they are the TV crew is actually 4 kilometers away from New York, which is around here, as you can see at the entrenchment area, and they say that the Donetsk People's Republic forces is just 2 kilometers out of New York. So they are pushing towards New York. I'm not sure if you want to do an encirclement or they're just going to bash all the way through into the town. Moving further into Luhansk Front. So now we are in Luhansk Front. At Popasna, there is still no breakthrough at Komoshuvaha yet. They're still fighting over there. There are some heavy bombardment at Zolote. There is reported fighting near Kharkiv. So this is also by the Defense Ministry of Ukraine. So deal with it. I'm not pro-Russian, although I might be pro-Russian. You never know. So anyway, in the south of Popasna, the Russian forces have captured Kalinova Popasnaya, which is actually this little village here outside of Popasna. So I'm not sure what this means. Maybe it is called Baby Popasna. So maybe that's how I talk to my daughter. So and the Luhansk People's Republic forces also captured Novozyanivka. So this capture here also probably from my analysis, I think is this attack actually come from the north, from Popasna south, and this I don't think it's from Troitsky because the forces was actually at Popasna. This also means that they might actually close this gap, and all these forces that do remain here might get encircled. So I don't think the Ukrainian forces will be so stupid to stay there. They're probably going to withdraw to somewhere where they can actually get some food, because there's nothing here. There's nothing here unless they can eat grass and eat tree barks and leaves. So they're going to retreat all the way out and probably go to somewhere that is more resupplyable. And so the forces, after capturing here, continue to fight towards Vyskriva. So they are going to this is also according to the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, and they are also there's also fighting reported at Pilichatine or Pilichatine or Pilichatine. So this is according to the Ukraine Defense Ministry, but this information was actually yesterday's evening report. This is actually from the morning report. So there is this push to expand maybe the defense perimeter for Popasna. I'm not convinced that they're actually going for Bakhmut yet. I don't think so. According to according to some analysts, I think I saw on Twitter, or maybe just random Twitter people, they are saying that this push is actually to encircle Svitlodarsk and as well as Luhansk and Mironivsky, which is also possible. So if they actually push this way and then they cut off this road, these two little town or city will be in deep. So moving on, continue on from the Luhansk front. There is information coming out that the Luhansk People's Republic forces have captured large part of Toshkivka. So this large part doesn't mean capture. So let's wait and see what's up. I'm very amused by how the little town of Orikhov continued to hold for so long. So they continue to hold. So there's no update, but somehow there's actually fighting near Kharkiv. So maybe there's Russian forces pushing this way towards Kharkiv, or maybe this information is too vague because they say in the area of Kharkiv. So area can mean area, or it can mean area. So not sure how big is the area. Moving further north, there is reported fighting reported at Voronov, and there is this report that the Ukrainian forces have captured Kryvyi Rih Front, which you probably already seen this, and now there's fighting reported at this SITREP. So this is actually reported by the Russian sources that fighting has begun for SITREP and Voronov. So these two locations are now being fought over. So yeah, they're being fought over. There's nothing else I can say. There is totally no breakthrough along the Savinsky Donetsk River. So the crossing has not succeeded yet. Probably failed. And until I have more information, I have no information. So if this continues to be the case, then I will have to push back this front line to behind the river so that it will be more accurate, rather than it seems like some Russian forces is actually across the river, but seemingly there is no breakthrough as of what I can tell from the open source information. But who knows, maybe they already have conquered all the way to here and no one's there to say anything. Who knows. Moving on to the Izyum Front, no breakthrough at Ozne, continue to fight since 5th of May. That's already 12 days. So not sure what the hell is happening. Maybe they are all got drunk, or they are drinking vodka with the Ukrainian forces over there and nobody want to fight. Liman continues to hold as well, but the Russian forces have reportedly captured Drobyshev and as well as Yarova. So this information is dated 15 May. So this represents a major triumph, and according to the excited pro-Russian sources, they say that now Liman is encircled because they are both roads, both exit routes has been captured by the Russian forces. There's no way to get out of Liman. Although I feel that it's perfectly fine for them to just walk through the forest, and there's perfectly good tiny roads that they can probably walk through to Majaki, or Mayaki. Anyway, south of Izyum, there is this mysterious explosion with red cloud or smoke in the area of Mazunovka, which is Mazanivka, this little village where many birds will lay their eggs. The explosion is very huge. I saw the video. You can actually go and search for it. It's just a red cloud, red explosion, and they say that the cloud is shifting towards Kramatorsk, which this statement just confuses me, because why do you say Kramatorsk when you can say Sloviansk? But anyway, maybe they are very accurate. They say that it's this axis and not this axis. It's like this specific degree. So okay, so at Dovhenke, the fighting is now confirmed that is inside of Dovhenke. It's not actually not captured by the Russian forces. I have corroborating video on Twitter. As you can see, I can translate. So video of Russian soldiers in Dovhenke bordering the Donetsk region. Clashes continue in the town, and this is dated May 16. This is yesterday's no, not yesterday. It's yesterday's video. So 11:34 p.m. for my side. So it's actually last night for me. So it's actually 7:44 p.m. for me now in Singapore. So this is the latest information, and it corroborates my suspicion that the Russian forces have not captured the entire town. So I'm awesome. There is a Su-25 shot down over Velika Komishuvacha, which means that there are still heavy fighting around this region. because the appearance of a Sukhoi 25 means ground support, means there is actually fighting around here. There is no breakthrough of this imaginary Ukrainian forces that's in the forest going towards Izyum to cut off the supply line force, which it's been 3 to 4 days. So this super massive Ukrainian forces going through the forest trying to cut off the supply line force behind Izyum have not done anything. So yeah, so that's what I want to just tell you. Okay, so I want to address this. This has been shelled the last time at 28th of April, and there's no news since, and nobody want to report on this. So I feel that this is actually captured. I think similarly for Oskil, I don't think that it's likely to be Ukrainian anymore, given how far the front has been fought. So what I'm going to do now is, in front of you, I'm going to delete these two icons, and I'm going to give this to the Russians. But I'm not going to put a flag because there's no real capture. But it's just a analytical assessment that it's unlikely that there are Ukrainian forces over there. So if they are over there, they are screwed. So moving on to the Kharkiv Front. So Kharkiv Front is a bit interesting because there is this development over the Savensky Donetsk River, where there is a breakthrough, reported breakthrough, unconfirmed. Some say confirmed in the comments. I haven't gone to check with the Russian side. I saw comments that they say Ryba is actually a Telegram group, a Telegram channel, pro-Russian analysts. They say that they have confirmed this, but I haven't went to check it, so I'm going to just leave it as question mark. I'll probably update this tomorrow. So there is this push and capture of Zaporizhzhia, and then there is this another crossing here near to Verkhnya Pisarivka, northeast of Rubizhne. So if this is true, then there is this important breakthrough by the Ukrainian forces. However, they will have no retreat routes. So we have to take into account that while it seems awesome to break through, but they also have no way to retreat. So if they do not hold a stronger bridgehead, then they might all die. So that's something to take note. There is fighting reported at Ternova. So according to the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, the Russian forces actually counterattack on Ternova. So far, of course, as per usual, the Russians are never successful, and when they are successful, it is not reported. However, the Ukrainians did capture Petrivka. This is the dated information from 15th of May. I'm so sorry if I'm speaking very fast, but it's already 33 minutes, so you might want me to speak faster, right? And so with this capture, we are actually very close to Vasily. This is actually a stronghold because the last time the Ukrainians tried to attack it, they failed. So I believe this is actually a stronghold similar to what is at Kozacha Lopan. With this capture means they have closed the entire gap here, because they have Ruski Tushki, they have Peremoha. So with Petrivka, they actually close up the entire front line, which means that there is good reasons to believe that Mykolaiv as well as Pischani is actually part of Ukraine territory now. So this is assessed by me. There is no evidence other than how the front line has developed. But there is also being done and corroborated by all the other maps. They actually do it this way. Yeah, so I felt with this capture, there's no longer necessary to actually have one hole here. I don't think the Russians do that nowadays. They actually do retreat very tactically and avoid getting encircled. So this is the summary for the entire day of 82. And I hope you find this useful and informative. And if you find this useful, do share it with your contacts, friends, family, strangers, ex-girlfriends, ex-wife, ex-husband, whatever. Share it to them, and whatever consequences, please don't blame me, because I just want to remind you guys again, none of my information should be trusted wholesale. All this information is acquired from open source information. You can actually find all this information yourself in the Telegram channels, in the social media like Twitter. You can find all this information yourself. So the only thing I did is just plotting them on the map. So do take a pinch of salt, because if there is a concerted effort to misinform the public of a certain better front or progress, we can all get duped by it. So, and that includes even the pro-Russian sources, or pro-Russian analysts. They can be duped by pro-Ukrainian information as well. So do not believe me 100%. All this. So let's talk a bit more about what is intelligence like. So in intel, all information is the best information that we have at that very moment. So it doesn't mean that it is the absolute truth or reality on the ground. It's just the best information that we have at that moment. So these are the best information that we have at this moment. So don't come and tell me, yeah, this is not real, this is not true, you are fake news or whatever. I don't really care. This is just the latest information that I can get. And if the information get invalidated later, we just change it later. And that's how intelligence works. So this is not an exam. I don't have to get 100 marks. No, it is a iterative process that we continue to amend and change and find other evidence that we can corroborate whatever that we have currently, so that we can know for more certainty that certain information is actually accurate. So please take note of that. And if you are still here, that's really awesome. You are awarded the medal of I finished the entire video medal. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next update.
Defense Politics Asia is a Singapore-based geopolitical and defense news media cum think tank focusing on Asia from an Asian perspective. We try to provide insights on complicated issues and cast spotlights on underreported stories to give a voice to those that would otherwise not be heard. You can find out more geopolitical and military news, as well as in-depth opinions and analysis on www.defensepoliticsasia.com. To support our work, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel here, or you can become a patron on our Patreon at patreon.com/defensepoliticsasia and get access to exclusive content while be a part of the people that shapes the future of this unique platform. Please remember to press the like button and subscribe to our channel.